technical segment with our very own Jared Blikre. Jared standing by for us with a special guest. Jared.
That's right. We have Mish Schneider here from Market Gauge, and welcome. I just want to say also we have a webinar this Wednesday at 2 p.m. and I'll give some sign-up instructions at the end of this. But just wanted to say hi. How you doing, Mish? Great. Well, let's talk Tesla because I'm pulling up a chart. This is going to be a year to date, and you tell me what you see in the technicals here, if you would.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, when it broke down under 600 and dropped to around 530, 540, it left what we call a classic glass bottom formation, which means it makes a new 60-plus day low, and then the next day confirms by closing over the high of that reversal day. And so that was really an amazing opportunity to get into Tesla because at that point you had about a $30 risk, which for a stock trading with that type of volatility is good, really good. It's like having a $2 risk for something like Apple. And then once it got through 600, of course, it did very, very well. And now it's been sort of consolidating here with a next real wall at around 700. But if Tesla can get through that 700 level, which is what I would wait for as it's trading at 684 right now, then I think we're looking at it going, creeping back up closer to that 800 level, and we'll see what happens from there. As we know, Tesla is also more of a movement than an actual stock based on its real valuation. So you could forget about all the fundamentals and really, in this case, I think, watch those technicals for that setup.
Yeah, I like the way you say you just ignore the fundamentals here. That's why I love the tape. I know everybody's paying attention to Virgin Galactic today, but I'd like to know your take on the space technicals here because we have this rather erratic price action, and I'm kind of seeing a cup here. Maybe this could handle. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting with the whole space technology because space in and of itself, which, by the way, is very close and personal to us because we live in New Mexico, and it took off from Truth or Consequences, right? So it's been quite the buzz here in New Mexico, literally and figuratively. But in terms of the stock itself, well, first of all, I think it is somewhat amusing that you have this race to space by these billionaires, number one. Number two is the cost to get on any of these rockets are going to be just crazy. Most people will not be able to ever even see themselves on it, at least not in the near future. In terms of space itself, I think it's cool that Branson was the first one to go up. And in terms of the stock, you got up really high in anticipation of this. And this is what happens so often with a lot of these companies is that the expectation is when you see the move and then the actual event, you actually see the selling into it. So we had space get up to about $60 a share. It started to sell off a little bit. And of course, here we are today seeing that sell off. So in terms of the actual technical support right here, I think we need to see what happens if it can get back down to somewhere around 40. But I would not be chasing it at this point. Let's give it a little bit of time for the dust to settle and see whether or not these gyrations that we've had based on this is real or it was just sort of a one-time event and people will move on to other things that really affect their lives in a much more profound way.
Yeah, we are seeing potentially a sell the news event here. We were just chatting in the break, and I know you have your eye on a couple other tickers here. We do have a little bit of time. Huntsman is one, and then MP Materials. What do you see here in MP?
Well, MP, I'm really keen on. We actually bought it when it was just a SPAC. And then when it took off on its IPO, it traded up to about $55 a share and then came back down and really settled somewhere around 30. Now it's trading about $38. I think as a rare earth company, it's the largest mine in North America. Obviously, for EVs, we need rare earth minerals. Lithium is already taken off, and I think this is the next one. So right here, I would say it holds about $35, $36 a share, and we can get through, let's say, hold this 38, get through 40. I see this going up not only to 50, 55, but I think this can go to $100 a share at some point if you're patient.
100. And yes, that's very true because you really need patience when it comes to trading here. Never rush. And also Huntsman Corporation. You just told me about this ticker. Tell us a little bit about this company and why you like the technicals maybe.
Well, it's a chemical company and also somewhat commodities related. And right now, it's been trying to base out, and it started to clear the 200-day moving average on Friday, actually, and today is now trying to maintain that. So we look for two closes over a major moving average for what we call a phase change. And in this case, it would be a phase change back into, I believe it would be a caution phase. It had been in a actual bearish phase. So right now, it has to close over 26.95. I think you have a really tight risk. If it's under 25, you're gone. And if it holds up here and keeps going, I see no reason why it can't get to at least $31 a share before we reevaluate.
$31 per share. All right, marking that in the chart right now. And while I still have you there, I just want to mention that we do have this webinar upcoming on Tuesday. I'm trying to pull out our promo here. If you have your phone, you can scan this QR code. Free registration to everybody. We're going to go talk charts for about 45 minutes. Sometimes we go a little bit longer. And we're going to have a lot of fun here. Trading meme stocks. I think that says it all. It's kind of been the summer of memes. So Ms. Schneider of Market Gauge, thank you for joining us. Sending it back to you, Akiko.